Good morning, Titans. It's Friday, January 22nd. I'm Brodie Williams.
And I'm Kayla McCullough. It's been almost a month since the outbreak of tornadoes ripped through North Texas. Michael has an update.
Saturday, December 26th, 11 tornadoes spread destruction across North Texas. Here in Rowlett, 2 weeks after the disaster, cleanup is still underway. I talked to April Hansen, a Rowlett resident who, with her toddler, newborn, and husband, took cover from the tornado that hit their street.
Well, we already had the kids in the bathroom, and I asked my husband to go get a mattress to put over us, and the toddler was in the bathtub, and then I was holding our newborn. We didn't see it because we were in the bathroom, but we could hear it. It sounded like a helicopter landing, and the house shook, and I thought that the glass was going to break out of our windows. Houses were damaged, like 5 or 6 houses down from us. As far as like the impact on the neighborhood, I will say that people have really stepped up. You know, at our local elementary school, people have dropped off, you know, donations, food, water, clothing, diapers, all kinds of things to help everyone. And they have been trying to clean it up. The Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts, our sons are involved with. They have been, you know, cleaning up the area. So I do think that the community has really come together, even though it was a really tragic thing that happened.
Then I interviewed Sue Beauford, a volunteer with Church-in-the-City, a church that has opened its doors and become a resource and aid center for those in need.
The first thing we decided was that people might need a place to stay. About probably the first person on campus was here less than an hour after the tornado went through. The tornado actually took the back wall, the bricks off the back wall of our church, did some roof damage, and broke some windows. The neat thing that we've heard is how well the community has pulled together. And it's just been really neat to watch the organizations work together to help people who are in need. These folks are dealing with a lot of bleeding. They're dealing with a lot of people who are trying to separate them from what little money they've got. When people ask me what we need, I usually tell them gift cards or money. We need new clothes and new shoes and gift cards. I would say would be the main things that we would need at this point. If they want to come help, like I said, we're at the corner of Dalrock and 66. But the easiest way is if you have time to come and register.
It has now been almost 4 weeks since the tornado struck, but homes and lives take longer than that to rebuild. Cleanup is still going on and volunteers are still needed. You can call the following numbers to volunteer with Church-in-the-City or donate. If you want something closer to home, Hope Fellowship down the road has a donation bin in their lobby. Keep your prayers with those affected and the families of the deceased. This has been Michael Severns, Cen10 News.
I'm still not quite sure where I want to go to college.
Well, why don't you go to the college fair? Emma has more.
College is something that brings up a lot of questions, but thankfully Frisco ISD has a way for you to get the answers. On January 27th, FISD is holding a college fair at Lone Star High School. Mrs. Marshall, one of the counselors here at Centennial, talked about why students need to take advantage of this opportunity.
Back in the fall, the district provided a college fair that was for 11th and 12th graders, and so this one that's in January is really targeted at 9th and 10th graders, and it gives them an opportunity to be exposed to some colleges that they might not ever have heard of, but that might be a good fit for them. The most important thing is to find the best fit and to realize that the same college isn't right for everybody, so it's not just about where mom and dad went or where your best friend is going, but it's about a school that's going to offer a kind of program that you're interested in, be in a big city or a small town, depending on what you prefer, or offer, you know, if you want to be a marine biologist, you probably shouldn't study in Arizona, those kinds of things. There are over 5,300 colleges in the database that we have on Family Connection, and it's not realistic to go through and to actually research each and every one of those. So going to the college fair gives students an opportunity to actually interact with the representatives from the college and learn some information without just having to blindly do searches on the internet.
The college fair is on Wednesday, January 27th from 6 to 8 at Lone Star High School. There's more information about this event on the FISD website. This has been Emma Kemp with Cen10 News.
Coloring books have become a popular trend among high school students and adults.
Aaliyah sheds some light on this childlike way of de-stressing.
Coping with stress can be an overwhelming obstacle. With the rise of technology and a busier society, stress has the ability to burden anyone. Not everyone has time to spare to talk about their problems or to see a therapist, but your mental health is at stake. A simpler, more childlike approach to this issue is gaining popularity among adults and even some students here at Centennial.
Right now, I'm currently in basketball and I'm in track. Being in basketball and being in track, that's like your second job. Like, school is your first, basketball is your second. Well, it's not really a big secret that I suffer from anxiety issues and depression. So most everybody knows that. So I don't have time to go and schedule a visit to see a therapist and honestly, I don't want to, because I don't feel like I need one. I feel like the things that I do, like coloring, it started off as just a little thing that I did with my niece and a little thing that I did with my brothers and sisters. But then I realized that I actually enjoyed it, and when I'm coloring, like, nothing else matters but that page, but that picture, and how to make that picture pretty and how to make that picture work. So when I do have a time that I can color and I have the hours that I want to color, it takes away everything, like all the stress from basketball and all the drama and all the schoolwork. Like, it makes me feel accomplished when I finish a page. I would recommend this to every student, whether you're taking AP classes, whether you're in extracurricular, whether you're not, whether you're a bum or you're a perfect valedictorian. Like, I feel like every student should color. When I'm coloring, like, nothing else matters but that page, but that picture.
Remember, it is the simpler things that make our lives the easiest. This has been Aaliyah McCullough with Cen10 News.
The periodic table of elements is undergoing some changes.
Rachel spoke to one of our chemistry teachers to see how this could alter future curriculum.
On January 4th, 2016, 4 new elements were added to the periodic table. We asked one of our chemistry teachers how this could affect the curriculum.
During Christmas break, on my Facebook feed, I noticed that several other teachers and then one other science site that I subscribe to had posted articles about the new elements that had been discovered. I really don't think it'll affect us at all. When we have the students learn the names and the symbols, we do the 60 most common ones, and of course the new ones won't be common ones. The fun thing that will happen is once they name them, depending on what their symbols are, is if we can make more new and fun and catchy phrases out of the periodic table symbols. That will probably be the most that I would see. It would not affect CBAs in any way. Really, all these elements down here after plutonium they're man-made, and they don't last but for, seconds to a fraction of a second. So they really have no practical uses. I do know that we use americium and smoke detectors. Some of these might, but really they make them in a laboratory, and then IUPAC, the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, they're the ones that recognize that it was discovered. It's really not discovered as much as it is just created. So anything on the periodic table that's white is not something we discover, it's something we create. So I can't see it affecting anything. We won't even reprint our periodic tables because we won't need them. We could do some nuclear reaction equations where we show how they're created in a laboratory, but probably not a lot of it.
This has been Rachel May with Cen10 News.
Centennial has a large number of students advancing to the state level in their competition categories. DECA has over 30 members going to state competition. For a complete list of names, please check out our website, cen10news.com.
Here's Ashley with more on the band and choir All-Staters.
Hi Titans, I'm Ashley Hilton with Cen10 News. It takes a lot of time, patience, and practice for one to make All-State. I spoke with some of the students about the process it took for them to be one of the top musicians in Texas.
Well, you start off in June or July, going to camp and learning the music, and then first round of auditions is October, and then you get new songs, and the second round is in November, and then finally the last round is just last weekend, and the last round is really difficult because you go and you spend like 6 hours just sitting and waiting, and then you get to audition for like 2 minutes, and then you wait some more, and then audition, and then wait for results. And and then they call it down like from last chair all the way to first chair, so you don't really know if you make it until they call first chair. So it's exciting.
Phase 1 is the week before Thanksgiving, and only about 30 flutes make it in the region past Phase 1. Then the week after Thanksgiving is Phase 2, and I would say about 15 to 20, but they only take 4 onto area from the region. Then you audition against 16 of the best flutes in the area, and only 2 there make it to All-State. I was fortunate enough to get first chair in area, so I was able to make the All-State band.
The 3 from every area are going to go to Team EA in February, and then they'll rank us 1 through 21, and that's our chairs, and then we'll play in the All-State band. At area, I got second, and it felt really great because I've never made it before. Last year, I missed it by 3, and it was just finally a relief to finally make it this year.
This has been Ashley Hilton with Cen10 News.
This is Emma Bittner with Cen10 News, and these are this week's reminders. Graduation is right around the corner, and there are several things that students need to pay for. Unfortunately, not everyone can afford these expenses. In order to help, you can donate your spare change during your lunch to an ASL club member throughout January. Also, if you're a part of Spanish Club, you have a meeting on Monday, January 25th, before or after school. And don't forget that the last day you can buy yearbooks is Friday, January 29th at 4 p.m. They're $70, and you can order them 24 hours a day on jostensyearbook.com.
Hey Titans, Mark with your Titan Sports. The soccer teams are doing very well as they both won on Wednesday to stay undefeated. The girls beat Little Elm 3-2 and the boys won 3-0. The basketball teams are improving with the girls beating Frisco 55-28 on Tuesday and the boys won 47-45. Also, Marcus will participate in the halftime show with the Frisco Flyers tonight when the Titans play Independence. And don't forget about the games on Tuesday night when the Titans take on Lone Star. The girls play at 6 and the boys play at 7:30. The basketball coaches have a competition to see who can sell the most red sneaker cutouts, which you can buy at lunch for $1. In other sports news, the men's powerlifting team placed first at the McKinney Invitational on Wednesday. And for the 3rd year in a row, the Titan wrestling team was in the state dual finals, and it came down to the last match to decide a champion. Unfortunately, we didn't come out on top this time, but still a good effort by our wrestlers. That's it for sports.
That's all for this week's edition of Cen10 News.
Have a great weekend, Titans.